everyone, and today I'm making a video I didn't think I would be making today. And for a good reason, not for a bad reason. I have reached 1,000 subscribers, and I thank you all very much for this. And part of the reason for this was I got a nice last minute push to 1,000 subscribers from a fella by the name of... what's his name? I recently just got a comment from him on my last video, Houseplant Himmel. He got all of his friends to sub to me, so I am now at 1,000 subscribers, which is just awesome. Thank you so much, Houseplant Himmel. You the man. And 1,000 subscribers obviously opens up a whole new world of opportunities and stuff. It adds a sense of legitimacy to your channel, I suppose, now that you're in 4 digits. So I might get more because of that. I've heard that that's what the case is. And obviously community tab options, I read about that. That's probably not going to open for another week, but eventually I can post to sort of the Waluigi the Master community after, that opens after a week or so. And I can post polls for everyone, that kind of thing. So, and get you guys more actively involved in the channel. I can sort of post updates or when I'm going to upload a video, that kind of thing. So I'll be like, hey, I'll expect a video 7 o'clock tonight or something like that. You know what I mean? So I could be a little less random with my uploading, because I did used to just upload every Monday or whatever, but now I kind of just upload whenever I want. So yeah, that is the way it is. I thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. And so I can't just thank you though. I gotta bring something else with it. So my plan for 1,000 subscribers was to draw my life, and I'm going to do it the only way I know how, with MS Paint. I will begin by saying I was born with the name Graham, spelled Graeme. It's kind of pronounced like graham cracker, kinda sorta. Graham cracker. If you've called me that, you're not the first one to do it. You're not being original. But hey, it's okay if you do choose to call me Graham Cracker. I don't mind it. But it doesn't quite have the same ring as Waluigi the Master now, does it? I would say it does not have the exact same ring to it. So anyway, the thing about good old Graham Cracker / Waluigi the Master is I am 18 years old. I was born in the year 2002, as you can see me struggle to write that. And I put some whoa faces there. You know what's crazy about me? Because I was born in 2002. I'm going to college this year in a place called Moravian College in Bethlehem. And I feel old as an 18-year-old. I know that sounds weird, but this channel is all about nostalgia. And imagine how I feel as a grumpy old man. I will feel very old then. That is for sure. I'd say overall my childhood was a pretty happy time. I didn't have any tragic backstories to tell like Heinz Doofenshmirtz, where neither of my parents showed up for my birth. Both of them happened to do so. This is just me drawing me as a little kid, I suppose. You're about to see the fact, I'm sure you're aware by now, that I'm a ginger, but it was more pronounced, I suppose, when I was a little kid. I had redder hair. In fact, it was so red that it would fill this entire screen here. Any moment now. I totally screwed this up. You're about to see it. I kind of spoiled it here, but you're about to see it. Yeah, if my hair was so red, it just filled the entire screen. So anyway, so that was me as a little kid. I was a happy fella, I would say. Childhood was a simpler time, For anyone out there who's still watching this that isn't anywhere near 18 yet, enjoy those years while you have it. And I write that's better because obviously I screwed up my hairstyling there. Now, thing is, I do have a younger brother who's about to turn 16 now, and I'm going to draw him as well. He happens to be quite a bit skinnier than me, so I'm literally just drawing him as a stick figure here because he's a skinny boy. Anyway, me and him, we have a good relationship. Me and Robert is his name. So, we're brothers, so we've been through thick and thin together, you know what I mean? So I'm just drawing him there. And obviously, MS Paint does happen to be a little bit more slow than drawing in real life, so I'm just stalling as much as I can through this thing here. So, I'm about to also draw things I liked when I was a little kid, because obviously, when I was a little kid, there was things I was interested in, so we're about to get into that next. So anyway, the first thing I truly liked when I was a little kid that I remember about is a show called Ninja Warrior, or as it's better known in Japan, Sasuke. Now I'm sure you may have heard of American Ninja Warrior, but it is not the amazing show it was in the original, where you had amazing competitors like Makoto Nagano and very funny competitors like the Octopus Man. Anyway, Ninja Warrior was my favorite athletic show before I watched The Giants, I suppose. Although, as you know, the Giants kind of suck now. And it was my favorite show I watched before SpongeBob. Ninja Warrior was truly the beginning of an era of me watching shows, I guess. So another thing from my childhood or early childhood I still really like now is doo-wop music. Now, the thing about doo-wop music is it's this old genre of music from the 1950s and 60s. This was introduced to me by my dad, and my grandpa introduced it to him. He was just a huge fan of it. And I love it. It's like sort of vocal harmonies music. If you want to know why the Beatles are my favorite band, really the biggest reason is that they have amazing vocal harmonies. And so I'm kind of an old soul when it comes to music taste. I like stuff from the 50s and 60s. I make an exception. Meghan Trainor, I kind of have a bit of a crush on her, so if you want to know who my celebrity crush is, there you go. She married a ginger. I'm not upset at that. Not at all. Anyway, Meghan Trainor is my favorite current artist, but that's my musical taste there. I like classic rock, I like doo-wop, and doo-wop was the first kind of music I ever really heard. So anyway, let's talk about school and my time in school before, Rona was a thing. So I would say I've always been a pretty good student. I have enjoyed school. I've enjoyed learning things. That is why I want to be a teacher. That's what I'm majoring in with college. I'm majoring in with history, and I'm going to get a secondary education certificate so I will teach high school history. That's probably what I'm going into there. And I'm just writing LOL there. It says that's my drawing of a school because I want to draw quickly and not well. So anyway, as you can see here, history, A+, it makes me happy. I've taken multiple AP history classes in high school and I've gotten, fives on pretty much all the AP exams. Not to brag or anything, because you're about to see that I'm not good in every subject. I'm not the valedictorian or anything like that. But there's, because I said there's a weakness, and it's called math. I hate math. Anyway, I'm drawing my hair there, and I can't freaking do it. I can't even draw hair. This is kind of sad. So I've done draw my life, even though I can't even draw. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you people with making this video. So anyway, I write math, and then like C, because that's typically what I get. With math classes, not my thing. History's always been my thing. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'd say right there. And I'm about to draw a sad face. So yeah, I want to be a teacher. I enjoy learning everything except math. Another thing that's been very important to me since I was a little kid is karate. My dad is a black belt in karate. He loves karate. He sort of describes it as his religion of sorts. And so I am on my way to being a black belt starting this summer, and I've had many different belt ranks over the years, as you can see. So I'm just going to draw out all the colors for you. So I start out with a white belt, but obviously I can't really draw that given the color of the background. So I start out with yellow, then we have orange, then green, then blue, then purple, then brown. So it's kind of that's the hierarchy until I get to black belt there. So I during the non-Rona years, I do go to a school in New Jersey, about a half hour from me. It is definitely a legit dojo. There's these things called Mick dojos. It's named after McDonald's, where they kind of just in it for the money. But this is not in it for the money. It's in it for the good techniques. And I've learned a lot of good techniques and strength from karate. So there's been 3 Greyhound doggos I've had throughout most of my life. So the first one I had was a girl named Kuka. She was the goodest dog. She was very well behaved, at least I guess compared to the 2 Greyhounds I've had afterwards, because Finch, She is the biggest goofball. She did this thing called roaching. It's a thing Greyhounds do where they're upside down on the couch. It looks ridiculous. And then Sabrina is our biggest diva. She's a princess. She needs everything. And she chatters her teeth, not because she's cold, but because she's excited. It's adorable. So anyway, a key part of my video game heritage, I suppose, was the PopCap games I played when I was a little kid. I did a video about this a couple months ago, but this was the days before I was into Nintendo. This was around 2008, 2009, 2010, when I was but a wee 8-year-old Waluigi the Master, and these were the games I loved. Plants vs. Zombies, Zuma, Peggle, Bookworm Adventures. It's really Adventures. I'm about to correct that there. But yeah, those were the games I was a huge fan of, as you can see there. And my PopCap nostalgia video did pretty good in terms of views. So I think I might do more PopCap style videos in the future, maybe Let's Plays, that sort of thing, because those were the games of my childhood. So I'm about to make a drawing right here of me at the computer playing these games. So obviously, if you've been around my videos, you know that I love the Mario series, Mario Kart, that sort of thing. Those are the videos. That's what I've talked about on this channel, obviously. But PopCap, these games are very simple, but they're games that like an 8-year-old can understand. You know, that's the beautiful thing about those particular games, in my opinion. So I made a video about it. You should probably check it out. Anyway, I'm kind of going on here because my drawing abilities suck, and there's me smiling, and I'm drawing a computer too. So good old computer games, good old 2009 nostalgia for those of you who were around for those days. Yeah. So anyway, here are some more random tidbits about me, just a lot of my favorite things throughout my life, I suppose. So we start with favorite TV shows. Now, I already discussed Ninja Warrior. That was my favorite show as a little kid, so that's the first one I write there. But then it became SpongeBob as well. SpongeBob I didn't like when I was a really young kid for whatever reason, but then I grew to love it, of course, because it's the best show ever. One of the best cartoons ever. Then Phineas and Ferb in my preteen years, and then Family Guy has been my favorite show as a teenager ever since then. As you can see there, I mostly like cartoons. Tom and Jerry is awesome too. Real life shows tend to be boring unless, of course, it's a Japanese obstacle course show. Anyway, favorite movies. These are some of my favorite movies right here. So the SpongeBob movie is one of my favorites of all time. Full Metal Jacket, don't watch that if you're young. And The Godfather is an absolute cinematic classic. Love those 3 movies right there. Anyway, last thing we got here is my favorite foods, which there are a lot of them. I know I definitely forgot some here, so I write everything, JK. Not everything. I don't like raisins, and some foods happen to be gross, but most of them are pretty good. Watermelon, pasta, broccoli. I know people hate broccoli. I love it, though, for whatever reason. And ice cream. And, of course, chocolate. But maybe the reason I even have this channel is to reflect on simpler times. My life hasn't been the easiest ride. Both those dogs I talked about earlier, sadly they died quite young, and I love both of them, so it was a sad thing to experience, I suppose. And when I was around 9, both of my parents divorced, and obviously living in separate houses, I know that's a common thing, that about half of married couples end up in divorce. So I mean, why would you even get married to begin with? That's what some people wondered. But anyway, they did get divorced, and that was tough to go through. Another thing that was tough to go through was my first year of high school. I moved to a same school district, and in the same year, my mom had to move midway through the year because she got kicked out of her old house. That sucked. Anyway, other thing that sucked, the first day I was learning to drive, literally the first day, I totaled a car. I totaled my dad's car, and that's me in the car being sad. That's my amazing drawing of a car right there. Right there. So, these are the things I've dealt with in my life. I totaled a car the first day I was learning to drive, divorce, moving into a different house in the middle of a school year, seeing both my dogs die when they were young. And there was also this last year. My dad had a brain tumor. Now, fortunately, it was successfully removed, and my dad has made a great recovery. and he has been sort of a hero in my life throughout this time. He is a great man. I've learned a lot from him, and I draw him here like that because he has a big forehead, that's for sure, but that's my dad right there. He's a hero in my life. And there's one more hero I must talk about before I end this video. And that hero is my grandfather who passed away a couple of years ago. We called him Poppy. He was the nicest man I've ever met. He was just a total Jedi, as my dad likes to call him. It was actually my mom's dad, but everyone who knew him loved him because he was just the awesomest dude. And his favorite food was ice cream, and that is probably my favorite food as well. So I have a feeling that if he were alive today in this world full of doubt and coronavirus, he would just simply say, eat ice cream. And eat whatever flavor you want. You can have chocolate, you can have vanilla, you can have strawberry. Eat whatever flavor of ice cream floats your boat. Personally, with me, it's every flavor of ice cream. I love all of them. And the same goes with him. Poppy loved ice cream. The thing about Poppy was this is a man who survived 2 heart attacks throughout his life and 2 open heart surgeries. He was tough through all of it, and yet at the same time, like I said, he's like the nicest guy you'd ever meet. He's the absolute prime example of treat people the way that you want to be treated. And if I were to give you any parting wisdom here, it's to treat people the way you want to be treated.